Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. Today we are talking about the Eight of Pentacles and how to make anything happen for you. Now, we talked about manifestation on the Eight of Wands. So if you want to go through the process of how we manifest something and how we go through the steps of manifesting that thing, go back to the episode on the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles is kind of where we get started on the manifestation. This is like the step 2 to that process, if that makes sense, where we already have something in mind. And again, if you don't have something in mind, you don't know what you want to manifest, you're just like bored and restless and you know you need to do something with your life or you want something like better for yourself, go watch the episode on the Eight of Wands because we talk all about that, even if you don't know what to do. So anyways, Eight of Pentacles is when we already know what we want and we start working on it. We start working with it, kind of like clay. It starts out very hard. Like it starts out like very tough. And then we start to work with it. We start to knead it. And that's when it starts to become more flexible, more pliable, more malleable. And that's where the magic happens. Just start. Just start. Don't get too in your head about like, how can I make this happen? Or what are all the steps of like what I should do to make this happen? Just start. When you have an idea, you know what you want to do, just get going. Like, for example, right now outside, there's some really loud truck out there, right? And I'm just still doing the video anyways. It's like one of those things. This is classic, right? It's like we finally know what we want to do. You know, we finally have this idea. Everything's in place. It's Monday morning. We're getting started on something. It's just so classic that the second we finally start to do the thing, everything goes wrong. There's a loud truck in the background. We spill coffee all over our shirts. We stub our toe. Our car breaks down. Classic resistance. The book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield is such a great book for this. Step number 1, just get started. Do it with the coffee stain. Do it with the loud ass truck next door. Push through. Really, step 1 is push through resistance. That's the secret. But getting started really is the first step. Just get going. Just move forward in any fucking direction, excuse my French, because like this is resistance. Like when you're trying to make something happen, you will feel resistance. You will. I don't care if it's your life purpose, I don't care if it's the love of your life, if it's everything that's destined for you in the whole wide world and everything else is pointing to this is what it is, this is it, this is the thing, this is my purpose, this is my path. I don't care. You're gonna feel resistance. That's not a sign or an omen. Oh, I shouldn't do this because I feel resistance. This is my rule. I actually go the opposite. If I feel resistance, I usually press into it. Now, you know, I'm not talking about like you're not having consent or something like that, love and light. I'm not talking on like an emotional level. I'm talking, well, resistance is an emotional level. But you guys, come on. Just give me a effing break. I'm swearing a lot in this. I'm swearing a lot here because of the energy of step 1. Just get started. It's annoying. It feels tough. Like I was saying, when you first get that putty and you just start to work with it, it's stubborn, it's immovable, it feels inflexible, like our muscles are tight, we need to get grease into the gears of whatever this thing is, and that is step 1. Step 2 is practice. It's consistency. He shows up every single day and works on this pentacle. He's becoming a master. He's working with what he has on hand. Every single day, I'm showing up, I'm practicing. It's not about perfection. It's literally about showing up. It's not about being the best at it. In fact, you're not gonna be. Just like I said on step 1, you will feel resistance. This is a no-nonsense show, okay? I'm not on here to be like, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be amazing, everybody's gonna love you, everyone's gonna think what you're doing is just awesome. In fact, people probably won't. People might make fun of you, people in your family might be like, I didn't even know you were like interested in that. Kind of curious that you like started a YouTube channel about that, just an example. Kind of like crazy that it seems like that came out of the blue. Sometimes 8 of Pentacles is like, yeah, you just go and you buy a bass and you start like jamming in your basement, right? And you suck. So you turn the amp down so your neighbors can't hear you. Step 2 is the practice, right? You're not gonna be good. You actually might suck. And that's part of the ego blow of step 2. But that's why he just keeps showing up. The rule of step 2 is just show up. Keep showing up, right? That's all it is. It's as simple as it is. You don't have to be good. You're not gonna be, okay? So that takes the pressure off, right? That's the beauty of the 8 of Pentacles, is that this is like the training. This is not game day. This is just... See how he's by himself as well? He's kind of just working in his workshop. This is our proverbial workshop on whatever we're doing. Now, to be fair, this show, for example, I'm 8 of Pentacles-ing in front of you guys. Right? Now, I do have past experience in like speaking and communications and things like that. And I'm a freaking Mercury stellium, love and light. Even if you're just at coffee with me, I'm gonna be mercurying you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that this 8 of Pentacles, me showing up every week with these episodes, that is the 8 of Pentacles. Like, I'm just doing the best I can, bringing what I got for you guys, practicing, bringing my craft forward, mastering my craft, 8 of Pentacles, right? It's not about being like the best in the entire world. It's about me coming, showing up, doing my best, being genuine and authentic, and connecting with you guys. That's my 8 of Pentacles for this show. On step 2, we start to kind of see what we have to work on. Like, okay, I really suck at bar chords, for example. Like, say you're learning how to play guitar, right? It's like, okay, I suck at bar chords, which I do still, even after 15 years. My fingers just can't like hold that down. So we start to see like, okay, I'm gonna look up YouTube videos on how to play bar chords and how to strengthen my fingers so that I can hold the shape, right? It's that sort of stuff. But if we don't get started, step 1, step 2, when we start practicing, we're not even gonna know what the hell we have to work on. We're just always gonna have this dream in our head, oh, I wish I could play guitar. Wish I could play guitar. I write a lot of poetry. I wish I knew how to put music to it, which was me when I was like 7. I started writing poetry, and as I got older, I was like, I need to play an instrument so that I can make these into songs. You might have something similar to that, whatever that is for you. But if you never get started, you're not going to know what you need to work on, right? It's obvious, but sometimes if we don't go through like the practical steps of this, how to make anything happen, it's just gonna feel like an impossible dream that we're never gonna get to, right? So it's really just forcing ourselves, pushing through the resistance, letting those bugs come up, and then we start working on the things that pop up. I need to work on bar chords, right? Step 3, another very, very practical thing. Like, say, for example, it is playing guitar. I used to have this pink guitar. It was from like Toys R Us. I got it for Christmas when I was like 11 or something. It was the worst guitar, guys. Like, it kept going out of tune. Like, there was no way, even if I was an expert musician, I couldn't get this thing to play. It didn't matter. So step 3, and this is super practical. I know, I'm not trying to bore you guys to hell. I am a grand earth trine. Hello. So sometimes life just is practical. Come on down. Queen of Pentacles in the house, all right? Come on down to my office. Let's talk shop. Step 3 is make upgrades. I was never going to get anywhere on that pink guitar. I loved it. It was my first guitar. I remember thinking like, yes, I'm finally like making headway. And that was making headway. That was the beginning. I'm looking right behind this camera right now. I have all my guitars hanging on the wall. I have my ukulele. I have my mandolin down there. My piano over there. Right? It's like the first step is getting going. But I had to eventually, which my Grammy bought me for Christmas, I think it was a year or 2 years later, she bought me, what guitar was it? I'm trying to even think now. Because I had a 12-string at one point. I had a 12-string guitar that I ended up selling. It was this black, shiny, beautiful thing. What was my first guitar? See, it's been so long. I think it was a Yamaha, actually. Anyways, this was many, many years ago, right? My point is, this was a nice guitar. It was like a $500 guitar as opposed to like a $75 guitar that Love and Light was never going to work for anybody, right? So step 3, you have to upgrade, man. The 8 of Pentacles is a card of mastery. So it's a priority to us. So even if we don't have money, like you will find a way to upgrade because this 8 of Pentacles is something that matters to you. You will find a way to buy that guitar. You'll get a summer job, you'll sell something else to buy that new guitar, whatever it is. And if you don't want to do those sorts of things, if you don't want to make those sacrifices, then maybe this ain't your 8 of Pentacles. It's as simple as that. Maybe you need a different 8 of Pentacles, which actually brings us back to the 7 of Pentacles episode, right? Where you may need to like rethink what you're even doing. Like maybe you're just showing up every single day, and this is just a quick side message. The 8 of Pentacles is about showing up every day. The 8 of Pentacles is about just giving it your all and continuing, even if you don't feel like it, to show up to the gym, even when you're tired, that's the 8 of Pentacles. But this is a quick caveat. If you don't want to like make sacrifices for this, if you just feel so disheartened by this, whatever this 8 of Pentacles is, hey, let's drop one pentacle, go down to the 7 of Pentacles, and let's change directions, guys. Yes, this is about dedication and mastery and showing up even when we're tired, but there's a difference between that energy, because you're committed, you're in it no matter what, rain or shine. There's a difference between that energy and literally just not wanting to do something anymore. It's like maybe you grew out of something. Maybe you don't want to do that anymore. Maybe you've changed, and this could be in any area of your life. This could even be emotionally. It doesn't always have to be like a project or a business or whatever. 8 of Pentacles can even be self-mastery. Like maybe your morals have changed. Maybe you used to go out every weekend and drink, and now you're like, hey, I kind of want to like nerd out on the weekends. I don't really want to hang out with these idiots anymore. Maybe I want to like get more serious about my life. And I want to, because 8 of Pentacles, it could be a consistency in I go out every week and drink, and I can barely get up for work on Monday morning, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. It can be like a routine that we continue with, even if it's bad for us. So anyways, step 3, make upgrades. It makes you feel good too. It's like, it's like getting, I'll just never forget every single like new guitar that I buy, that feeling. It's like the feeling that you get when it's an unboxing of anything. Like maybe for you, it's something else. Like maybe it's a new camera. Maybe it's a new iPhone. I love that too. I'm super nerdy too, but there's something about when you are trying to master something and it matters a lot to you, and you get that beautiful new guitar and you take it out and you tune her up. It's like, it's actually like a spiritual experience, step 3, when we make these upgrades, because we care about it. Now that we've already gone through this process, which we'll continue with maybe for the next 20 years, you know? I'll probably always be playing guitar, right? I've played it, it's been like 15 years now. Oh, there she goes. And maybe you'll drop your 8 of Pentacles and you'll pick it back up even. Like maybe you started on an 8 of Pentacles years and years ago. This happened to me. Let me give you a quick example. I went to music and arts camp when I was 12 years old, and I started painting. I started painting at that camp. And even when I was younger, when I was like 7, 8, you know, I'd write these little short stories for my grandma, and I would illustrate them, and I'd staple the book together. You know, I always would draw little things. But then in music and arts camp, I started to see like, wow, I actually, like, it was mirrored back to me that I had a level of talent within painting. Then years and years and years later, when I was like in my mid-20s, 10 years later about or more, I picked up watercolor painting, and I started learning from my painting mentor how to watercolor paint. So you may have something like that. You may have started something that you were a natural at many, many years ago, and then you pick it up again. That doesn't mean that you have to start all over again. It's kind of just like getting back into the groove again, right? So be open to that as well when you start looking for an 8 of Pentacles to like put your heart into. And this doesn't have to be work, guys. This can be a hobby. You know, an 8 of Pentacles can be like something completely on the side that you're really, really good at. Like, I love to bake. It can just be something that doesn't make you any money. It's just for your enjoyment, right? It's something that you master. And then on holidays and birthdays, like I do, I'll make these, you know, I'll always make treats for people, right? And it's just for fun. And finally, step 4 is have markers. Like, don't just let this ramble aimlessly on, the 8 of Pentacles, where it's just like, well, this is my 8 of Pentacles, and I'm just gonna kind of show up and just do my thing, and that's it. Make it so that you have these like markers, these achievement points, these moments where you, how do I say this, Spirit? Because it's so relative what this even is. Like for me, I like making these shirts, right? The Metamystic shirts that I'm wearing, and I like changing the background, for example. Like, I could make these videos with one color and just one Metamystic shirt, just the black and the white, and that's it, right? But I like to have these changes. Like, I like to change out, like, I'm doing the same thing that I'd be doing from month to month anyway, with a black and white shirt, with a black and white background, with everything the same. 8 of Pentacles, still showing up, still doing my thing, still my words are the same, right? But this is what I mean about step 4, and this is what kind of mixes it up. It stays fun, it stays fresh. Whatever this is for you, and that's relative. You know what I'm saying here? Like, it might be, like, if it's a guitar, it might be to go get some new strings, right? It might be, and this kind of goes back to step 3 with, like, the upgrades, but this is a little bit different. These are, like, achievement points. Step 4 is all about achievements, goals, rewards. Like, say you get to a new level in something, and like I said, that's why it's hard to quantify this or qualify this, because it's different for everybody what your achievement would be. And somebody like me, love and light, God, I'm so freaking hard on myself. I don't give myself any credit for anything. Anybody in the house relate to that? So I actually have to remember this step. I'm not just going to do this naturally. Like, I don't reward myself. Like, when I complete a big project, I'm just like, all right, anyways, on to the next one. Might just be because I'm an earth sign, guys, but that's not like, we should take a minute. Like step 4 could even just be as simple as like, dang, like I've gotten better at guitar. I know I keep using guitar, but it's an example that I know how to like explain. Like let me give you this example. I can look back on a video of me playing guitar in a song that I wrote from like 10 years ago, and then look at a song that I just wrote for my new album coming out, shameless plug, it'll be out soon for Honeybee. And I can compare them and say, oh my God, wow, Missy, you actually have gotten better. Like, even just as simple as taking a minute and just being like, you've really improved over the years. It doesn't have to be some crazy thing like you have a big party. It can just be as simple as like taking a minute, appreciating how far you come, congratulating yourself for continuing to show up. And I will also say 8 of Pentacles is something you want to do, right? Like I was saying with baking, like I want to make my friend cookies for their birthday. Like I want to play guitar. Those are just things that I want to do. I naturally want to get better at them. That's how you know something's an 8 of Pentacles, is that you have a desire to want to get better at it. Now, of course, you're going to get frustrated, which is natural when you're in that practice mode, which is step 2. But when we're at step 4, it's kind of like just taking a minute to congratulate ourselves for how far we've come. We've become better, right? It could even just be like freshening things up. Like I was saying about these shirts, like still doing the same thing, but you find a way to make, it's kind of like putting new things on your desk in your cubicle. Like maybe instead of it just being like all white and plain in there, you should put some pictures in there, bring in some flowers, like make it nice. Have like a secret chocolate bar drawer where you can like nibble on your Snickers bar on your break, whatever. That's what I consider step 4. You're kind of like freshening things up, and then you just get back to it again, right? And it's something that you can continue to develop over years and years and years and years. I love the 8 of Pentacles. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole tarot. And I really do believe that everybody should have an 8 of Pentacles to always be kind of tinkering with something, right? Everybody should have a hobby that is just kind of like for you, you know? It's something that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be work. You don't have to make money from it. It can just be something that you enjoy getting better at and becoming a master at. I love you guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Remember, you can always listen to this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And remember to catch up on past episodes if you missed them. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.